Jimmy K here, Metal Voice. Look at this. The Metal Voice shirts are now on sale. Just go to the video description to find out on how you can purchase one. Metal! All right, Alan.
Here we go.
Welcome to another edition of the Metal Voice.
We're at the Metal Voice.
All right.
The big Metal Voice studio.
Things are going to heat up here, Alan. Things are going to heat up.
Jim's in the mood for controversy.
KK Downing.
Yeah, great book.
Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Formerly
of Judas Priest.
Heavy duty. Days and Nights.
Founding member of Judas Priest.
We're not reviewing this book.
No, we did already.
We're reviewing.
You interviewed KK about the book.
Once, twice.
What more are we going to say?
KK, first of all, in the interview, wonderful guy, brilliant guitarist, an integral part of Judas Priest, a co-founder.
Just go back and listen to Defenders of the Faith.
This man...
Right? The guitar work.
And here's a question. Here's a question I pose to you, Alan.
Okay.
Should KK...
Well, one of your famous debates. One of the Metal Voice debates.
There are two questions here.
Okay,
Number one, should KK rejoin Judas Priest? But should Judas Priest invite him to come back?
Ooh.
Or maybe it should be should Judas Priest invite him to come back? 50-year anniversary is coming up, right? They're booking the tours now. Should KK? Maybe we'll bring him back, Al Atkin.
Now, you're jumping all over the place.
I'm jumping all over the place.
I know where you're going with it.
Where am I going with this, Al? Where am I going with this?
Okay, I hear what you're saying. All right, so here's the thing. What I've been trying to piece, I think I know where you're going with this. I'll try to piece it together. So people say, I saw Judas Priest, I saw Firepower. Okay, guys, I saw Epitaph, which was supposed to be their last tour, right? And they've done how many since? Okay. That's another story for another time, another debate for another time. And I said, how do you like Judas Priest? You know, like Glenn unfortunately is no longer touring, and who did they get? And people are like, Andy Sneap, but he's not much of a guitarist. Well,
He can play.
But no, but this is the comments I'm getting. I didn't witness this. I don't know. I've gone. Like I said, the last tour is supposed to be the last tour. I went to the one after that too, and you know. So Glenn, he wasn't moving around as much as he used to. We might know the reason why now. I don't know if that it was part of it. But what I'm saying is, if I'm hearing that this guy's not the guitarist, and KK in his book was very clear how the perception was that Glenn ran the show, Glenn was in charge, Glenn was Mr. Judas Priest.
Yep.
KK admits he wasn't the most vocal. He kind of helped build that image. Maybe he could have been more vocal, and he's definitely being more vocal now.
Yes.
So now it's a question of, okay, well, why don't you just bring KK back? If he's open to it.
For God's sakes, Alan.
You know?
Rob Halford left Judas Priest.
Yeah, he left, yeah.
One album, two albums.
KK retired. I see it as retiring.
Rob left metal.
Yeah.
Is that what he said? He said something like that. I've left metal. He was doing alternative rock. Remember that too?
Fight and
two.
Yeah.
No, Fight was a little more metal. It was metal. But then the project with the 9 Inch Nails guy.
Trent Reznor.
Have you heard this? Anyways, the point is he left metal. And he said he left metal. Maybe not in those words, but he said something of that. I've left metal. And they just welcomed him back like there was no problem, no issue. Okay, great, and I accept that. I think that's a good. Okay. But they should welcome back this guy right here.
Okay, so
they should welcome back. There is absolutely no reason why they should not.
There is a reason, because what I took away from this book is very little respect for the current management of Judas Priest.
Well, I get that.
And you know what, Jim? I was there on a tour. Steel Panther opened.
Yep.
Which is probably one of the only reasons there was that many people there. Quite frankly, let's be honest. I go to get my ticket. I hand it in, and she says, "You're not sitting there tonight." So what do you mean? I got my ticket.
That's Jane Andrews that told you?
No, at the...
I thought it was Jane Andrews who was telling you
They're
that.
playing at the Bell Center here in Montreal. It's like the LA Forum. It's a hockey rink. So I hand in my ticket. I get there, and she goes, "You're not sitting there. Go over there and get a new ticket." What? This is the first. I've seen 600 concerts. This is a first for me.
Yeah.
And why is that? Well, I walk into this arena that they booked for Judas Priest, and sections are blacked out. You can't sit there because there's tarps over them.
Yeah.
Well, if you're blacking out sections, that's probably not the venue for you.
Yeah.
So why is the management putting you in there? So I can understand when I read KK's book where he has a little disrespect for the management. The management didn't respect him. He didn't respect them, whatever. when you see something like that going, because heaven forbid Judas Priest plays a smaller venue.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid it's Judas Priest. And half the people there, I don't want to, I love Judas Priest, but there's a time and place for everything. And they're on the waning edge of their career. This would be a great way to get bums in the seats, as we say.
Yes, bums in the seats with this guy right here.
And if that's what it's all about, because if you're playing in venues where they're blocking out sections because their tickets aren't selling, maybe this is something you want to explore as a management. It's what you owe your band to do, to explore these other avenues. Rod Smallwood didn't say, no, we're not having Bruce back. I think we turned the page on that chapter. And no. He said, I think we should sit down, at least owe it to ourselves as a band, because of the struggles that Blaze was having at the time, is to sit down with Bruce and see where we are. At least we can say we tried. He didn't close the door before opening it.
That's right.
So I think your question where you want to go is a two-parter. A, is management open enough to the idea? Does KK want to tour? Because I thought he was retired because he didn't want to tour anymore.
Yeah.
So now, it's going back to some of our other interviews or other shows, Michael Schenkerfest, that was a great idea. Halloween, Pumpkins Reunited, great idea. Why didn't Judas Priest?
Judas Priest Fest.
At least bring back KK.
Yeah.
You don't need Simon Phillips.
Look, as sad as it is, Glenn is retiring, right? He's sick.
Well,
Unfortunately, he's sick. So the only person who can fill in Glenn's shoes, there's only one person, and that's KK.
That's right. I agree.
And that's KK. Not
Richie Faulkner's done a great job.
Richie's doing a great job.
I don't want to take anything away from him.
Richie should stay where he is. That's fine.
But
he's part of the gang now. Right. But it's only bring KK back. That's what the band needs. I mean, there's just how many more gigs are they going to do? How many shows can they do? How many more albums can they do? They're coming to the end now, like you said. So,
from what I saw at the show, and a lot of the younger crowd was there for Steel Panther. If there's another opening band like the Raven Age or somebody that nobody's really heard of, or starting their careers, I should say, there would probably be even less people there.
So, should management sit down with KK? Yes, it's a no-brainer.
Okay, well,
I don't understand some Judas Priest fans who are saying no, they shouldn't. I don't get that.
You've reached out to KK a few times. Yeah. You've had an excellent interview with him.
He's open.
What do you think? Yeah,
he's open. He's definitely open. Okay. Absolutely, he's open. Right. Of course, he's open. Look, he's open, but he's going to move on.
Well, he has moved on.
He's moving on now.
I think the book was part closure to all that. I think it
again, and then this is very clear. He would love to sit down with the band and do something with the band, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen, so he's moving on. So that's that wording there. Got to make sure you get it right there. He's moving on. But if the band called him up, they'd say, "Hey, why not? Yeah, okay, sure, sit down."
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? I can't understand some Judas Priest fans out there saying, "No, he shouldn't go back in the band." For God's sakes, this is KK. This guy's from there from the beginning.
Founding member. He made that very clear in the book.
Scream for Vengeance, Defenders of the Faith, British Steel. I mean, come on.
Listen to Free Will Burning, the guitarist, the Sentinel. I mean, what a guitarist. Unbelievable guitarist.
And there he is. So he's made his comeback 10 years later. He's gone on stage in the UK's Bloodfest just recently, just maybe, a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago. Actually, it's been 1 week. With Ross the Boss, who generously let him play, and they played together. And they played a few Judas Priest songs. I believe they played 4, and the fans went nuts. Yeah. And the organizer said that was the best part of the whole festival, that part. So he's back, and I think that will be the leverage to get him back in the band.
And writing new material?
No, performing live. Performing live, and like he did as a guest, maybe for now another band, or maybe for Ross the Boss on a few dates, or maybe a few festival shows. That's what will get him back into Priest. The fans just going nuts.
Okay.
Like you said, he'll help fill up the arenas.
If you're managing a band that wants to go on, you owe it to them to try to make the best of the situation and try to get as much money. Let's face it, they're not doing this, it costs money to tour. So you got to make sure you cover your expenses, make some money, or why do it then otherwise?
So leave your comments and you tell us, do you think KK should rejoin Judas Priest? And do you think Judas Priest
Should reach out.
and reach out
To him.
Yeah. And
There
sit
you
down.
go. That's
Oh,
it. That's
we'll
it.
talk
Good.
it out.
There's one of our
Talk it out.
debates, one of our
Maybe
famous
just-
metal voice
let's
debates.
talk about it,
There you go.
All right. Tell us what you think.
Thank you.
Say farewell to the future. Get ready